What's up, everybody? This is Gina Ifowe, the one and only African superstar, back at it again. I'm back with another Unpopular Opinions live. Obviously, lately I've been talking about, forgiveness and retaliation and all that kind of stuff. And it's such a rich topic that I want to elaborate a bit more. Now, a few days ago, I posted a throwback video in which I talked about I don't believe in forgiveness. And I do understand that it is a very, scattered topic among our people because many people have different perspectives on it. Okay. So I'm going to get into that today. I do want to say a shout out to the customers at Afrikansuperstar.com. Big shout outs to everybody supporting my small Black owned business. Also, big shout outs to the members only who support this platform monthly. And also those of you that have sown seeds into the music project. Yesterday, I received a cash app from Priscilla. So I want to say big shout outs to her. She sent some money because she loved Unpopular Opinions Live. So I want to acknowledge her. Also, I want to give another special shout outs to my girl, Monica, whose birthday was yesterday. And we definitely turned up. Matter of fact, hold on just a minute. What's up, Jarena Star? What's up, family? If you were in the building, please leave me something in the chat room that I know that you are here, that I know that you are alive and well. Yes. Today, we're going to talk about this topic, okay, which is unsolicited forgiveness has made us weak. Now, definitely, I know a lot of people are going to disagree with me on this because a lot of people swear up and down that forgiveness gives them some kind of gratification or whatever. I would say that in the extreme case that you forgive, okay, in the extreme case that you forgive, it should be accented by a peace offering. Okay, that's actually what the Bible says. Okay, you have to atone for your mistake when you make it. Okay, so you can't just be like, oh, Jarena, I know I did this and that to you. I'm sorry, girl. No, you need to be coming with some kind of peace offering. You need to say, girl, listen, I know I did this and that, blah, blah, blah. Let me make it up to you. Let me take you out. Here's money. Here's this. Here's that. That's part one of the forgiveness piece. The second part should be that you wouldn't do it again. Okay, now, in most cases, when people incur consequences and or they have to pay some kind of restitution or something like that, a lot of times people learn their lesson from that because it was costly to them. I want to tell my people that don't already know that unsolicited forgiveness has made us weak. You know why? Because the people that we're forgiving are not even sorry to start with. And in addition to them not being sorry, they are repeat offenders. They are repeat offenders because they weren't sorry. They weren't sorry. They didn't have to pay the cost. They didn't miss out on anything. You're over there saying, hey, I forgive them. They don't give a damn if you forgive them because they never asked for forgiveness. This is the state of the Blacks in the diaspora. The Blacks here on the continent, forgiving and offering up prayers, and it's all unsolicited. The people that are responsible have not even asked for your forgiveness. They don't even acknowledge what they have done. Like I discussed yesterday in my live stream, okay, it is a law of nature. For every action, there is a reaction, okay? Everything that you do has recourse. We don't want to talk about that. And we have also come up with this ideology that the recourse for the things that we encounter will be delegated in the afterlife. See? Also, more learned ignorance. Does that make sense? So you mean to tell me I can live here, my physical life, willy-nilly, do whatever I want to do, and somehow I'm going to receive reciprocity in the afterlife. Mind you, the afterlife cannot be verified. I know a lot of you guys are spiritual, but the afterlife cannot be verified beyond your own personal belief, beyond your own spiritual belief and faith. We cannot verify that happens. We have no idea. And it's very interesting that the rest of the world, the government, the judicial system, they don't operate on that afterlife reciprocity. After all, Christianity came from Europe, right? But guess what? If you do a crime in Europe, they are not saying, oh, you're going to pay later. God's going to judge you. No, they take it upon themselves to judge you. And even when they judge you, they do it in bias. Guys, unsolicited forgiveness has made us weak. We are sitting ducks when people do things to us. You know, throughout my life, I've been really fortunate for people not to take unnecessary chances with me. Big shout out to the African Superstar family. Jarena Starr, S.A. Smith. Jarena says, these people here in the UK never even bother to apologize. They pretend they didn't mess up. Good point. Big shout outs to Fitzroy. I'm getting into this topic today. I'm getting into this topic because I really want to encourage you guys to think critically about the way that you're behaving. Okay? Unsolicited forgiveness, it's not doing anything for you. Okay? All it does is position you in the same position to get it over and over and over and over again. Let's just say technically when the slaves in the U.S. got emancipated, let's just say all them millions of them, however many number, let's just say they all decided, let's go burn down the White House. Let's do some mob justice on these slave masters. Let's burn up these plantations. And then let's take resources from them, take over their land, or go back to Africa. We will be having a completely different reality today. But our people decided to take the path of least resistance. They decided to integrate. They decided to believe in this religiosity. And to this day, our people are still encountering the same stuff that they have been encountering for centuries. Black men are still being lynched, killed, unjustly judged, incarcerated unfairly. We're still dealing with systematic racism. We're still dealing with the rape of our continent. We don't have reparations. We don't have anything to show for what they have done to us. But if y'all talk about it, well, Gina, I can't hold on to it. I'm just going to let it go. No, you should hold on to it and do something with it that benefits you and your people, like everybody else in the world. Our people are even afraid to identify who their enemies are, even after their enemies take malicious action against them. In my opinion, you are a fool if you allow people to continually offend and attack you. You are a fool. In the vernacular that my mom used when I was growing up, you are a punk. Somebody's spitting on you. Someone's punching you. Someone's pulling the rug from your feet. Someone is destabilizing your family, your community. Someone is targeting your youth. And you sit back and all you can do is give them unsolicited forgiveness. You don't even require reciprocity. You don't even require anything in exchange for what they have done. What exactly is their incentive to stop doing things to you? What is their incentive? There is no incentive. There's no feasible, logical reason why they would stop doing the things they're doing to you, because they're not missing out. They're not having to pay the cost. They're not facing embarrassment. There's nothing. I don't believe in that. I believe that is a weakness. Like I was saying, I've been very fortunate. I think, obviously, because of my presence, there have been some bold individuals, just a handful of them, to be honest, that have tried it with me. They have tried it with me. And every time someone tries it, a response is in order. I would say in the entire course of my life, I have only had to respond adequately less than 10 times. You know, because first of all, most people are able to deduce, okay, Gina, she don't play like that. So if I try to fool around with her, she's going to have something to say. She's going to respond. She's going to react. There's no way she's going to let me off the hook. They understand that about me. Even my sister's friends understand that about me. You know, so it was also a benefit to my sisters that, hey, we don't want to mess with Gina's sisters because we're going to have to put up with Gina. But on the rare occasion, like I said, it's happened so rarely that someone has tried to take, you know, a positioned attack. I've had to respond, but it's only natural. I'm telling you guys this because I don't give unsolicited forgiveness. I don't. You know, I heavily evaluate a situation and determine, is this person even sorry? Is this person even sorry? Was it a mistake? Because 9 times out of 10, if you evaluate it, it was not a mistake. First trivia question. Big shout out to the Afrikansuperstar family. Amina's here with us today. Big shout outs to the family. Click Clacks in the building as well. S.A. Smith, thank you for being a valued member of the family. First trivia question. Was George Floyd a mistake? Was George Floyd a mistake? First trivia question. Was George Floyd a mistake? You can actually, you know, interchange his name with the, you know, hundreds, thousands of victims of police brutality and ask yourself, were those instances mistakes? Okay? These kind of issues are not mistakes. They were deliberate, malicious attacks on Black men for various reasons. I don't buy the fact that, you know, he was armed or he wasn't cooperating. He should have just listened to the police. You know, the type of nonsense that some of our people use as excuses, and definitely the white people use as excuses, because guess what? They can apprehend mass murderers, bombers, terrorists without any infractions. They do it all the time. How come they're not having mistakes across the board with different ethnicities? How come they're not having mistakes across the board with white men and white women and white children? Why not? God's unsolicited forgiveness. You keep forgiving people that are not sorry. You keep forgiving repeat offenders. You are a fool. I'm sorry. You know, a lot of situations that we find ourselves in, we need to take responsibility for those outcomes. You know, I will give you an example. Say, for instance, a woman is in a relationship with a man who's cheating on her. Okay? You know, she keeps forgiving him. And in this case, maybe he does buy her gifts. Maybe he does apologize. But he cheated on her one time. She took him back. He cheated again. She took him back. Now, 10 years into the marriage, he's still cheating. Is that his fault or is it hers? Okay? You have a friend that talked behind your back. You said, you know what? It's a misunderstanding. You gave a lot of reasons, you know, see, because I'm one of them types. I give reasons. I'm like, nah, it's not that way. This person wouldn't really, you know, I think it's based on the fact that it's so rare that people try me. I'm thinking to myself, nah, they didn't try me. It was something else. You know, there has to be some kind of like reasonable doubt. And I'll always cap for them because I know that when I retaliate, it's going to be something serious. So I don't just want to be running around, you know, lashing out on people. But let's say the person talks behind your back, okay? And then you go back and say, you know what? This is my friend. I really love them. What's up, Global Green Book? I see you there. Please make sure you guys like the stream. You say, I really love them. We got history. We got years in, blah, blah, blah. You keep divulging your personal information to that friend of yours. She keeps going back and divulging your information the way that she did the first time that you forgave her. Whose fault is that? Is it her fault? Is it her fault? No. She let you know what time it was. This is why, even though in some cases, you know, not forgiving people, it may hurt you as well because you don't really want to lose them. It is actually a defense mechanism. Let me say, if, for instance, you were a spy, let's say you were a Russian spy to the American government, and you got caught by the FBI or CIA, do you think that they would say, you know what, the spy tells the government, you know what, I'm so sorry. Putin put me up to it. I'm so sorry. I didn't really mean it. We would look at the American government as a complete fool to say, you know what, okay, we accept your apology. We're going to send you back to Russia. You can come back to the States anytime you want. It's okay. Let bygones be bygones. No. Guys, the truth is that people are taking malicious actions against you. That's what it is. I mean, especially in adulthood. Very seldom is it a mistake. It's not a mistake. It's not a mistake. Because people are careful with things and people that they love and things and people that they cherish. Did you guys hear me? People are careful with people and things that they love and people and things that they cherish. They won't mess up. They will think twice. They will be careful because they love and cherish that thing or person. So when they keep mishandling you and it becomes perpetual, like the way the white people treat black people, it is not a mistake. It is intentional. Like Amina says, it is intentional and deliberate. When they talk crazy to you in the office, it's not a mistake. When they come over and want to pet your hair like you're a freaking animal, it's not a mistake. They know that they're being disrespectful. When they use the N-word, it's not a mistake. They know exactly the connotation. They know exactly how some people are going to react to that stuff. And here you are saying, well, Gina, I'm just going to let, you know, karma get them. I'm just going to let, you know, nature take its course. I don't want to harbor it. So I'm just going to let it go. Why don't you be real and be honest? You still got it in your chest. You said that you forgave him and you said that you let it go. But at the end of the day, it's still in your head. At the end of the day, it still pains you because the natural reaction is to get them back and pay them back. If someone hurts you, the natural inclination is to hurt them back. That's nature. That's nature. That's immediately what you want to do. Now, religion and all this stuff and, you know, anger management is going to try to teach you to suppress it. But what you will find is when you don't address a situation, it keeps coming back. When that clown at your workplace offends you and you let it slide, they keep talking stuff. When you're in a domestic violence situation and this person assaults you, you keep going back, they keep assaulting you. I mean, I, in the history, have never heard or seen of a case where an abuser come and say, you know what, I have been abusing this person for years. It's wrong. I need to stop. No. That's why a lot of the things that we have been taught, guys, you know, this golden rule stuff, this forgiveness stuff, we have to deprogram ourselves. It's not natural and it doesn't even work and we're not even benefiting from it. You're giving unsolicited forgiveness to people that are not sorry. You're giving unsolicited forgiveness to repeat offenders that keep doing the same things. Okay? You keep forgiving America for killing and assassinating black men. It's causing a huge problem. Hello? Fatherless children. Not enough men to marry. Loss of generation. Psychological damage. You keep justifying it, saying that someone's going to pay the cost. Who's going to pay the cost? Who has paid? Who paid for killing Malcolm X? Who paid for killing Dr. Martin Luther King? Who's paid for killing Gaddafi? Who's paid for removing Kwame Nkrumah? George Zimmerman hasn't even paid for killing Trayvon. He doesn't even go to prison. Huh? What about all your tears? What about the psychological damage? What about missed promotions, missed income, a lack of generational wealth? All of this is the result of people not paying for what they should pay for. Do you think if the American government would have given the reparations they were supposed to give, that they would still be treating us the same way? You see, the reparations that they were supposed to give, the 40 acre and a mule, would have given our people the ability, to create income for themselves, establish generational wealth, communities, et cetera, et cetera. And they knew that because those people that were emancipated, they knew how to work the land. They were the ideal farmers because they had been doing those things on the plantation. Okay? They didn't want to give us those opportunities. They would have had to pay. And a lot of you guys will talk about the situations. Well, Gina, they don't do this to the Mexicans, and they don't do this to the Jewish, and they don't do this to the Asians, and they don't do, oh, no, they don't, because they know that there's going to be reciprocity. Okay? They know if they defame, for instance, like an Asian on TV, they're going to get slapped with lawsuits. They know if they offend the Jewish community, they're going to get boycotts. They're going to get this, that. They know who and how to paint people based on the responses they're going to get. Y'all need to start giving people responses. Now, a lot of you guys think that retaliation has to be violence. It doesn't have to be violence. Okay? There's a lot of ways to retaliate that are long lasting, that don't require violence. And that's what I definitely promote. Okay? I promote, if you're going to get someone back, get them back in a unique and profound way. And you can quote me on that because I won't back down. No, they need to be held accountable. A lot of you guys, Kevin Samuel viewers, Cynthia G watchers, all y'all talk about is the black female, black male gender war. Stupidity. Talking about the black woman needs to be held accountable and the black man needs to be held accountable. How about our enemies be held accountable? How about the people that are doing things to you and your generations, your past and your future, be held accountable? How about that? You don't want to talk about that? I got a broad spectrum, okay? Whoever want to play with me is going to be held accountable. That's it. Simple. And I can tell you guys, listen, I have lived a life, fortunately, to this point. Like I said, I have not had to retaliate many, many times because people already know going in, if I fool with Gina, I don't know, and to be honest, if you fool with me that way, I'm a loose cannon. You don't know what I'm going to do. You don't know. It's not really wise. But you can do it if you want because I'm ready. I'm always poised. I'm always ready. Sometimes it might take time, it might take time to respond. I encourage you guys to sit down and think about it long and hard. White people, the way that they punish people, aside from violence, they're very barbaric. But aside from violence, they hit people financially. When somebody tries to play them, they hit them with the lawsuits. They hit them with defamation of character, smear campaigns, and all that stuff. Stuff that's going, go on and on. That's what you want to do. Slashing somebody's tires, that's that's child's play. That's here now, whatever. No, that's not good enough. Unsolicited forgiveness is a weakness. It makes you look weak. It makes you look stupid. People talked about Will Smith. Big shout out to superstar Bella, because his wife does a lot of unscrupulous stuff, embarrassing him in the public eye, and he kind of just puts up with it. The perception is that Will Smith is what? Weak. That's what people are saying. Because why? Because his wife is doing whatever she want to do, and he's standing for it. I'm just saying. We've got to gravitate away from mentalities that's not helping us benefit, guys. Okay? We want to hold everybody accountable except for the people that are at the root of this stuff. Okay? We don't even want to take initiative to improve our own situations. Okay? Improving our own situations is partially holding people that are taking advantage or doing improper stuff accountable, and also holding ourselves accountable too. What are we going to do? When people offend us, they know it's going to just be a hashtag. They know there's going to be some buzz online, but there's not going to really be any ramifications. Okay? Nike knows if they come out with a controversial product, you guys aren't going to stop buying the sneakers. Huh? The NBA knows if they make some racist comments, you're not about to stop going courtside, whatever. They know they can keep killing us in the streets and nothing's going to happen. They know that they don't even got to pay us reparations, and we're going to continue to live and just, be in the environment and complain and cry. But there's no real tangible, revenge. There's nothing, it can't go on like that. It can't. And honestly, guys, I really believe that if more people adopted the mentality whereby, they are not going to be treated a certain way and tolerated, things will certainly change. I believed when I lived in the U.S., the way I was treated was wrong. Okay. And I didn't beg and cry for justice. I just came to the conclusion, you know what? If this is how it's going to be here in America, if this is how it's going to be in the UK, then I'm going to remove myself from the system. I'm not going to allow them to kill me. I'm not going to give them access to, my life. I'm not going to let them control my future. Hello? I'm not going to let them miseducate my kids. Whatever the list goes on, I decided, no, you will not do it to me. You will not do it to me. I'm not going to stand for it. And now I'm not under the guises. Just imagine there were millions like me that were like, oh, America's not safe. I'm not about to stay here. All y'all taxpayers out there, all you guys with mortgages, all of you guys that are paying car notes and student loans, it equates to missed revenue if you're not there. And that's something that, for instance, the American government can feel. Let's say that it was sustained for like a year. I know y'all can't buckle down long enough to do something like that. But let's say it was sustained for a year. Maybe you don't know, but back in the civil rights movement, that's exactly what the Black community did. They organized a boycott, and it took them a year to get the attention of the American government, but they did it. Because at the tears, the protests, the pleas, and all that stuff, the hashtags, that's not getting their attention. They need a consequence. They need to feel something to know that it's legit. The same way that when we talk about personal situations, people need to know when you are raising your kids, whether or not you spank them, or physically discipline them, you use consequences to discipline your kid. Okay? You say to them, hey, if you don't clean up your room, then you're going to lose your cell phone privileges. Okay. If you don't get good grades this quarter or whatever, then you're going to lose, your car privileges or whatever. Okay. If you don't do your chores, you won't get allowance. These kind of things. A lot of times, whatever your child wants to do or whatever's precious to your child, that's what you dangle in front of them to get them to cooperate. It's called consequences. Okay. It's normal. It's natural. Because to get a lot of people to do things, they need to be incentivized. There needs to be something in it for them. And that's why these people don't care how they treat us, okay? Because there's no consequence and there's no incentive, okay? There's no incentive for them to learn how to interact successfully with Black, suspects or whatever. There's no incentive. There's also no consequence if they misbehave. So they feel completely relegated to do it. They feel relegated to mistreat Black Americans. They will continue. There's no incentive for them to stop. They feel it's okay to do whatever they're doing to the global Black community because there is no response. They know that we're going to give them unsolicited forgiveness that they don't even have to ask for, and they don't even have to atone for their actions. So that's my message today. I know this is an unpopular opinion. Obviously we are brainwashed and groomed, from our childhood to forgive and turn the other cheek and, let karma deal with it and Mother Nature and Judgment Day. And no. Like Jay-Z says, if you owe me $10, I'm not taking $9. Okay, I'm not letting you off the hook just because. No. And if you do, like I said, if it's a rare circumstance or something like that where you decide that you want to forgive, you need to be accepting a peace treaty. Okay, this nonsense about you forgiving because it's good for you, we just need to be honest. It's not. Okay, Black people swearing that they've forgiven white people for the past, it's a lie. How could you? Look at the situation that you're in. A lot of the situations that you're enduring, despite your own personal efforts. A lot of us are very, very ambitious in life. And even though we have faced systematic setbacks, we still go forward. But let's be real. A lot of you guys in the chat room, me included, have had to start over and over and over. Missed opportunities. Being accused of things that were false, getting sacked from our jobs and lies put against us and all kind of setbacks. Hello? You want to tell me that you really forgave them for having to start over 3, 4, 5 times? If you're a victim of police brutality, you want to tell me that you forgave them for taking your family member? Now there's a huge void in your family. Maybe your children don't have a parent or whatever, and you want to say that you forgave them? Are we really being honest with ourselves? Because if so, then you're above nature, because nature says for every action, there's a reaction. So if what you are saying is true, you are somehow omnipotent. You are above nature, because even though people have taken action against you, there's no reciprocity at all, and you're okay with that. You're okay with that. It's false. This is why our people are dealing with psychological problems. This is why they're smoking weed incessantly, tattooing their body, drinking, having all kind of erratic behavior and dysfunctional behavior. Why? Because they're internalizing the fact that there has been no reciprocity for the things that is happening to our people. Okay? They keep seeing our people being victimized, and there is no reciprocity, and it causes mental illness because it's unnatural. It's unnatural. For us to know as a Black person, if we take a certain action, we're going to get a certain recourse. And then say if it's a white person and they take the same action, there's a different outcome. That causes a psychological defect, especially if you are a critical thinker, because it doesn't make any sense. You can't negotiate it. You can't legitimize it. It's not right. And why does it go on? And for those of you guys that are the big forgivers and the big karma, let me know why the US and the UK haven't paid yet. For all the blood on their hands, why haven't they paid? Why do they keep on doing what they do? Why hasn't anybody blown up their lands or dropped drones on their... They're constantly all over the world intervening in other people's affairs. Where is the reap and sow? Tell me. Don't tell me they're going to get it later, because this stuff's been going on for centuries. When are they going to get it? Has the UK got it since they involved themselves in the slave trade? Has the US got it since they involved themselves in the slave trade? Who's paying for all the blood on their hands? All our slaughtered prominent black men, like I mentioned, Malcolm X. Who's paid for Gaddafi? Ruining his country. You see, it's illogical. And that's why I'm saying unsolicited forgiveness is really, it's really futile. Okay? You're basically in a fantasy world. If you think that you're doing something by claiming to forgive people that are not even sorry, that they're going to pay some kind of way that we can't see or can't verify, is crazy. If that's true, then that would be the law of the land. Okay, when you take a crime, they would just say, you know what, we don't need to put you in prison. We don't even need to try you, because God is going to sort you out. You're going to pay. Karma is going to get you. When these music stars owe the U.S. millions of dollars in back taxes or whatever, do they say, well, we're, that's in the past, we were going to hit you up for these $2 million that you made 20 years ago and didn't pay? No. Nobody has mercy. Nobody has mercy. Everybody wants, as they call it, justice. You ever seen one of them white people, them people on TV, somebody did something to them, somebody killed one of their family members? That's always what they say. We want justice. They don't, I ain't never heard one of them say, Jesus Christ is going to sort it out. I forgive them in the name of the Lord, and the afterlife's going. No, they say, we want justice. We want it right now. We want a settlement. We want money. We want this, that, this, that. They start making their demands when they have been wronged. We just absolve everybody from responsibility. I don't know why we do that. Maybe we think that we can't make them pay or something. But in my opinion, the way that I have chosen to take action is removing myself from the West and living a better quality life on the continent and broadcasting it to my peers. I think that's a pretty good retaliation. Encouraging others to come and do the same. No longer fiscally contributing to their societies. Hello. That's how I have in effect retaliated. Because when they mistreated me, their response was, well, if you don't like it, you can go back to Africa. You don't, you have to put up with, this is the law. That, okay, well, then I don't have to put up with it. I won't put up with it. And I tell them to their face that I enjoy living in Africa, and I live in Africa. I travel internationally. I live a much robust life now that I have been able to disconnect from the West than when I was living there. That's just the facts. I have a long track record that echoes this. You see, that is reciprocity. Did I use any violence? No. Have I made any threats against anyone? No. But the reciprocity that I took is long lasting. Okay? The look in their face when I interact with white people, when I go to the West, and I let them know that the West isn't good enough for me. So I'm chilling in the motherland, enjoying my life. The look on their face, because they know they're in slavery and they know I'm free. That is revenge. That is reciprocity in the SMP way. Finding your way out of the matrix that they have deliberately tried to entangle you in. Finding safety for your family, finding freedom. Allowing your children to grow up in a safe environment where they're not going to have trauma and psychological scars. The truth is, I'm talking about being proactive. You know, why are we spending so much time trying to deprogram from trauma and being hurt instead of focusing on how not to inflict trauma on our kids? Do you think allowing them to live in the US where even, you know, a 10-year-old boy or 11-year-old boy is seen as a threat to society, do you think that's good for his mental well-being? Huh? Do you think it's good that young Black women that go missing and get no media coverage? Do you think that's good for the youth of our kids to know, hey, if you're Black, you know, nobody cares whatever happens to you. Now, if you're Gabby Petito, they're going to make it an international, you know, thing to try to find out what's happening with you. You know, at the end of the day, I'm getting ready to wrap up, guys. At the end of the day, we are complicit in what is happening to our communities in a lot of ways. Because instead of us taking a different mode of action, we've seen the mode of actions that we've been indoctrinated to take. We see that they're not yielding fruit. Okay. We see that they're not moving our communities forward or even helping us in any way. But we keep on recycling that instead of saying, you know what, let's sit down and devise a new strategy. The continent is not perfect, but it's safer than the US, okay? And there's a lot of opportunities for us to live in different ways here on the continent and more free. It is something that many of you need to take into consideration, because existing in those societies is giving you more of the same. And those people are not sorry what they're doing. It's going to continue. And I always pray, you know, I always hope and, you know, I always emanate that people on my platform will not be touched by their situation. But again, you have to take some personal responsibility due to the environment that you live in. The environment that you live in is chaotic. You are aware. You know that the environment that you live in is taking malicious and deliberate attacks against your community. You know. You know that the education system is miseducating our kids. We are fully aware. If you sit back and you don't even make an attempt, you don't even try to do something to offset the machine that's in motion, you are, in effect, complicit in that situation. You know, I always hope for the best for my peers. I really do. I always hope that you wouldn't become a senseless victim of certain things, but I do hold you accountable the same way I held myself accountable. Okay? Because I know that they don't have any good thing for me. They don't regard me. They don't care. They don't see me as someone's sister, someone's daughter. You know, they don't see me as a prolific speaker, a music. They don't see any of that. There's no depth to me in their society. Which that means they have no implied value on my life, the way that they do their own. So when I became aware of that and I realized, hey, they can just eliminate my life like I never existed and they won't think twice. I had to, because I have value of myself. I said, nah, my life is special. I'm special. I need to live. I got stuff to do. Big shout out to the Afrikansuperstar family. Thank you for everybody who's here today. Big shout outs to our members only who are designated by the circle next to their name. Big shout outs also to the customers of the Afrikansuperstar.com. Big shout outs also to those of you that have been supporting the music project. Now, I didn't see no super chats today. It's not too late. But yeah. Because you know I'm talking that one way. This is unpopular opinions. This is the stuff that my peers are not thinking about, or they're just too scared to say it. You know, they're too scared to tell you what time it is. I'm not afraid, because it's true. It's true. Okay? People that don't atone for the things that they do to you, they don't feel sorry. They don't have any remorse, and they may continue to do it. I'm telling you, if white people were worried that if they offended black people or if they tried to attack them, that black people would fight back, they would think twice. White people are cowards. Okay? So if they knew, okay, every time I aggress against this person, there's going to be a clapback. Okay? If I shoot this black man, there's going to be 100 of them outside my house every day. I'm telling you, it would change things. But they know how y'all get down. They know what kind of things you do. They know you're going to go to City Hall and you're going to have a protest. You're going to do a little candlelight vigil, a little balloon release. You're going to, get the mayor and you guys are going to call, for violence in the community. They know exactly what you're about to do, and all of what you're going to do doesn't even hold them accountable, doesn't even inconvenience them in any way. So they continue doing the things that they continue doing to you. And like I said, in your personal life, people keep offending you. They keep taking advantage of you. They will continue until or if they have to pay. Bottom line. And again, I want to emphasize that I don't promote violence, okay? Because in my opinion, violence is not really, it's not really like the best type of revenge that you can do. Now it's finite, okay? So let's say, if you go and you inflict violence on someone, you can injure them, you can kill them. But there's repercussions for that kind of, reaction. And I don't promote that. I promote psychological. I promote SMP. I promote strategic, long-lasting reciprocity that makes these people understand, damn, I shouldn't have played with Jessica. I shouldn't have played with Gina. Damn, this is a headache. Wow, I made a mistake when I did that. I thought he was a pushover. I thought she was a pushover. Man, they showed me. You, the person who's delegated reciprocity, walk away from the situation. Hands aren't dirty, but they're going to pay the cost. They're going to pay the cost. And to me, that's better. That's better. That's better. Those, my last boss in the UK that sacked me. I'm pretty sure she watches my channel or gets wind of some of my videos and this and that. Shout out to Tracy. I know that she thought when she sacked me that she was going to slow down the progress. And I know she thought that she was going to punish me. But here I am living on a continent as I planned before she did that. I know that probably doesn't make her happy because obviously she wanted me to pay. She wanted to, cause me an issue. But I took it in stride. You see, these are the kind of things that give payback. They sacked me from my YouTube channel, but I no longer work there, so I can mention her name freely and do whatever I want to do. So whatever she tried failed, and I still won. You see, that is payback. That is what I'm talking about. That's how you do it. In a creative, strategic way. It doesn't get your hands dirty, but deals that blow, that lets them know that you're not to be played with. That's how this is chess. It's not checkers. You see what I'm saying? This is for the critical thinkers. Somebody played you, somebody embarrassed you. Okay, now you write the tell-all book. The book goes, hits the bestseller list, and you become a millionaire off of this story. Now the hood person inside of you wanted to go over there and burn up their house and deface the property. No. Now, millions of people have read the story and they know who is involved and you have benefited. That's the kind of stuff you do, guys. That's the kind of stuff you do. But whatever you do, understand you are not above nature with this forgiveness piece. For every action, there's a reaction. And that is what it is. That is what it has always been, and that is what it will always be. Okay? If you want to make yourself sick in the head because you don't decide that you want to, you don't want to respond, you just want to internalize the nonsense, well then, I mean, no. If anybody offends you and causes you a lot of pain, they should suffer, not you. They should suffer. Why should you take on unnecessary pain? Huh? All right, I'm wrapping up. Because this topic, like I said, this topic is rich, okay? So I have so much to say about it. But yeah. So big shout out to African Superstar family. I will see you guys again very soon. Also, make sure that if you're not subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe. You can support the stream. Also, special shout outs again to Priscilla. I did receive your Cash App for Unpopular Opinions. She'll probably be happy to see this one. And as for the rest of you that get the playback, I know a lot of you guys don't agree with my stance on forgiveness, but it is what it is. I think I have a very compelling argument for why I believe what I believe and why the position that I stand on. And if you look at your real life and you see how the people that you have unsolicited forgave keep doing the same things to you, then you will maybe come to the reality that what I'm saying is true. Until we meet again, stay black and true. If you ain't black, just stay true.